Oh gosh, our girl Becky with the good hair is mysteriously trending again. And honestly, the timing couldn't be more suspicious with all this drama surrounding Jay-Z. Everyone's wondering if we're finally about to uncover the real truth about who Becky was and why she caused such chaos in Queen B's life. And let's not forget that infamous elevator incident where Solange had to step in. But here's the real tea. What if Becky wasn't even a woman at all?
When I filmed the documentary with me and the twins were on about 10 years ago now, the producer of that show said, I've got a secret. I know the reason why Jay-Z got beat up in the lift by Solange. So I was like, well, give me the tea. And he was like, well, basically, Beyonce and Jay-Z. This is what I've been told, and I'm just telling you straight what I got told, right? And I've told a couple of people over the years, but everyone's been like, whatever. But since all this stuff's come out about Diddy and his freak parties, I feel like it was true. So apparently Beyonce and Jay-Z have an agreement that obviously he can fuck, but he can't fuck more than once. If it's out twice, then it's a problem. Obviously he's gone back for more, so he's feeling that person, do you know what I mean? Apparently the reason he got slapped up in the lift is because he'd gone back more than twice. But the real tea is who he went back with. I'm not one to gossip, I'm not gonna lie, and I've literally had this to my chest for 10 years, like, that person being, drum roll please, Will Smith.
Oh my goodness, let me tell you something juicy. The Carters are probably sweating bullets right now because things have taken such an unexpected turn, and honestly, I am living for every single drop of this tea. Remember that explosive TMZ footage showing Solange absolutely going off on Jay-Z in that elevator? The real reason behind that attack stayed under wraps, but we all know what the fans were thinking. Jay-Z wasn't being the faithful husband we all hoped he'd be. And let's be real, Jay-Z himself eventually owned up to his wandering ways. But the real storm came when Beyonce dropped that nuclear bomb called Lemonade. That album, especially the track Sorry, had everyone buzzing about this mysterious Becky with the good hair. When B sang, "He only want me when I'm not there, he better call Becky with the good hair," she wasn't just throwing shade, she was serving a whole eclipse. The way Beyonce went after Jay in that song, absolutely ruthless, darling. Even though she never called him out by name, we all knew exactly who she was talking about. And while she might have seemed a bit gentler with this Becky character, make no mistake, she made it crystal clear that Miss Becky wasn't some innocent bystander caught in the crossfire. Whatever this woman did must have been pretty serious to get that kind of reaction from Queen B. Now, I know what you're thinking, maybe Becky isn't even real. The song's main writer, Diana Gordon, tried to downplay everything when she talked to Entertainment Weekly. She was practically rolling her eyes at all the theories, saying, "I laughed, like this is so silly. Where are we living?" I was like, what day and age from that lyric do you get all of this information? Is it really telling you all that much, accusing people? Diana even spilled that Beyonce was totally caught off guard by how everyone went detective mode over that lyric. She shared this adorable little moment saying, "I saw her at her formation tour. She had a pajama party. We laughed, we danced, we hugged it out. But I didn't say much about it at the time because I wanted to give her space." But honey, let me tell you, that explanation didn't stop anyone from playing Nancy Drew. Especially since we all know Beyonce doesn't just throw words around in her songs without meaning. And speaking of suspects, let's talk about Rachel Roy. This isn't just some random name pulled out of a hat. She has history with the Carter Knowles circle. She started as an intern at Rocawear, you know, that fashion label Jay and Damon Dash created, eventually worked her way up to creative director for the women's and children's lines. Here's where it gets spicy. Rachel was actually married to Dame Dash. Now, nobody knows exactly when this alleged thing with Jay might have started, but when Sorry dropped, the Bayhive was absolutely convinced Rachel was our mysterious Becky. And girl, Rachel didn't help herself one bit. Right after Lemonade came out, she posted on Instagram, "Good hair don't care, but we will take good lighting for selfies or self-truths always live in the light no drama queen." Talk about poking the Bayhive. But wait, it gets even juicier. You know what most people don't know about that elevator night? Before Solange went all WWE on Jay-Z, she had already had some kind of confrontation with Rachel Roy. There were whispers that Beyonce got involved too, but nobody knows exactly what went down. Later, word on the street was that Solange went after Jay because of his work relationship with Rachel supposedly becoming something more. The real tea? There were rumors floating around that Jay and Rachel's situation started way back when she was just an intern at Rocawear and apparently kept going for years. And get this, they say Solange lost it because Jay-Z had the nerve to defend Rachel during their confrontation. After the Bayhive went full attack mode, Rachel tried to shut everything down, saying, "I want to put the speculation and rumors to rest. My Instagram post was meant to be fun and lighthearted. It was misunderstood as something other than that. There is no validity to the idea that the song references me personally. There is no truth to the rumors. But between you and me, that didn't sound like much of a denial. And honey, Rachel wasn't the only name in the mix. People started eyeing Gwyneth Paltrow too. Isn't it interesting how Gwyneth and Bea went from being besties, showing up everywhere together, concerts, red carpets, parties, to completely ghosting each other after 2016? Not a single photo together since Lemonade dropped. Makes you think, right? Rita Ora's name got thrown in the mix too, especially after she showed up wearing lemon-inspired lingerie and this backwards lowercase r necklace that looked suspiciously like a J. But Rita quickly jumped on Twitter to clear her name. I never usually address tabloid gossip, but let me be clear. These rumors are false. I have nothing but the utmost respect for Beyonce. Let's continue enjoying Lemonade. But hold on to your wigs, because here's where things take a wild turn. Some people started suggesting that maybe Beyonce used Becky with the good hair as a clever distraction from the real truth. What if Becky wasn't a woman at all? And when people started speculating about Jay-Z potentially hooking up with a man and sending Bea on an emotional roller coaster, whose name came up? Will Smith. Now don't come for me, those aren't my words.
When I filmed the documentary with me and the twins were on about 10 years ago now, the producer of that show said, I've got a secret. I know the reason why Jay-Z got beat up in the lift by Solange. So I was like, well, give me the tea. And he was like, well, basically, Beyonce and Jay-Z. This is what I've been told, and I'm just telling you straight what I got told, right? And I've told a couple of people over the years, but everyone's been like, whatever. But since all this stuff's come out about Diddy and his freak parties, I feel like it was true. So apparently Beyonce and Jay-Z have an agreement that obviously he can fuck, but he can't fuck more than once. If it's out twice, then it's a problem. Obviously he's gone back for more, so he's feeling that person, do you know what I mean? Apparently the reason he got slapped up in the lift is because he'd gone back more than twice. But the real tea is who he went back with. I'm not one to gossip, I'm not gonna lie, and I've literally had this to my chest for 10 years, like, that person being, drum roll please, Will Smith.
Now, I can't confirm if Jay really had something going on with any man, but what I can tell you is that after everything exploded, Beyonce laid down some serious ground rules for Jay-Z. An insider spilled all the tea about these new rules, saying, Jay is ultimately very grateful that she didn't give up on him back in the day, so he shows his respect by following her rules. He used to go out with the boys all the time, but that's off limits now, and Beyonce doesn't like him having one-on-ones with his female talent. The source also revealed that Jay-Z and Beyonce started hitting up therapy and making date nights a priority to rebuild their connection. They said the couple really puts in the work to keep their marriage healthy, especially since Beyonce put her foot down. But here's the thing, people are suddenly bringing Becky back into the conversation, saying it's time for the truth to come out, whether it's a she or a he. And apparently, Solange feels the same way. Word on the street is that she wants everything about Becky exposed, especially with all this new drama surrounding Jay-Z. A source close to Solange exclusively shared that she's worried there might be no coming back if Beyonce keeps standing by Jay-Z. According to them, Solange has never hidden her feelings about Jay after his infidelity came to light. The insider spilled that Solange told Beyonce she warned her a decade ago and she wouldn't listen. They also mentioned that while Beyonce's putting on a united front with Jay-Z publicly, she's getting major pressure from her sister, who's basically saying, I told you so. Child, let me tell you, according to insiders, the Carters might be playing happy family in public, but behind closed doors, they're going through it. They're saying that even though Beyonce's showing public support for Jay, in private, she's bringing up all his past sins, especially that whole Becky situation. Meanwhile, Jay-Z's still trying to get this lawsuit from Tony Busby thrown out. He wants Tony held responsible for what he claims is just a baseless attempt to drag his name through the mud. Even though Jay-Z has completely denied these allegations, his latest argument focuses on some serious contradictions in the story. Get this, Jane Doe's own father told NBC News he doesn't remember making any 10-hour drive to pick her up after the alleged incident, even though she claimed he did exactly that. Plus, she said she talked to some celebrity at the 2000 VMAs, but that person wasn't even in New York at the time. Jay's legal team is really coming for Tony Busby too, pointing out that he admitted to never personally interviewing Jane Doe before putting his name on the lawsuit, even though he claimed they did this super thorough investigation first. They're saying that even if Busby believed the claims initially, he should have dropped the case once all these inconsistencies started popping up. Tony's still defending his approach though, saying he did his homework, ran background checks, case, hired a retired police detective, the whole 9 yards. But Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro, wasn't having it, basically saying, oh yeah, name names then. When none of these supposed fact-checkers were identified, Tony dismissed it all as frantic and desperate, insisting the case is legit and reminding everyone that nobody's above the law. So dolls, what do you think about Becky with the good hair making this comeback? Is Beyonce still not over it? And what about this wild theory that Becky might not even be a woman? Could that have been the real scandal all along? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because this tea is still piping hot.